Hello and welcome. This is Cronicius, your GM for the day. Today we're going to go ahead and make a character using the Cubicle 7's Roll20 bundle for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition. Alright, let's go ahead and dig on in here. Click on Journal. Go to Add Character. I like to type in New because we don't really know what this character is going to be. So let's move this over to the side here. Click on Character Sheet. And I like to expand this just a little bit. Get a little bit more view. Alright, so since we're creating a character, let's go ahead and click on the compendium. And I like to just type in character. And then go down to creating a character. Once it loads. Alright. We have all the information here to create a character. However, we're just going to skip right through it and go to species. So, in the base book, we have human, halfling, dwarf, high elf, and wood elf. You have a 90% chance of being human and varying degrees for everybody else. We're just going to roll through it, see what we get, and by doing so, we'll get bonus XP to start. So, I've made a macro already for a D100. I'm just going to click on it. We're at 35, so we are human. On the character sheet, if we click human, oops, we have to click off of human and then back onto it. That will automatically calculate our resilience, fate, and movement. Pretty cool. On that note, let's go ahead and go back to the compendium. Type in human. I'm going to shrink that down for now. Bring up human. Take a quick look at what we get for skills and talents. Alright. So, skills and talents of a human are animal care, charm, cool, evaluate, gossip, haggle, language Bretonian, language wastelander, leadership, lore Reichland, melee basic, and ranged bow. We also get access to some talents as doomed, savvy, or suave, which we'll have to pick one or the other, and 3 random talents. I like to add these in the beginning, that way I have them done. On this particular character sheet here, we'll go to, because as a GM I give everyone access to these skills as a human. However, as a new character, you get to pick 3 of these that get 5 advances, and 3 of these that get 3 advances. Personally, I like to give them all the skills with 0 advances, just to sort of give them access to them. So let's go ahead and get that built. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be. So what we can do is we can add these in, give them points, and then figure it out later, or we can actually roll our career and class and figure out what we are doing. So let's go ahead and bring up the, let's type in class, and that should bring up the classes and careers. That's leveling, skill advances. Oh, that's the wrong one. Might use that later though. Oh, that's the same thing. Okay. Just a moment. A random class and career table. Let's figure out what we are going to be. But since we picked our race, let's go ahead and add in our XP. So we have our species XP, which is 20. Okay. Because we're human, we get that base. Let's go ahead and roll what we are as a human. We'll roll a D100, consult the chart. 19. That would put us at a beggar. Sweet. We are a beggar. They are in the burger class. So we'll switch our class. Okay. Let's type in beggar. Oh, Bagar. Sorry, I spelled it wrong. My bad. Beggar. Alright, we can either open it up and type everything out, or we can just go to the careers page and drag and drop. and it'll automatically populate all the stuff we get for all 4 tiers as a beggar. Alright, so the first tier of your career is a pauper, brass 0. Ouch, you start with no money. That is rough. But that's okay, because that's what we got. So we are a beggar. We can read all this here if you wish, but my main focus is just character creation. So the beggar advanced scheme. You have the pauper, brass 0. We have all of our skills, and we have all of our talents added, but we don't have anything purchased yet. Right? And since we did that, we can do I just type in class, we get 50 XP. We have a total so far of 70. And if we look on our sheet here, as a pauper, we get toughness, agility, and fellowshipping as our starting characteristic advances. We have no points in them yet, but these can be bought at regular XP expenditure to advance them. If it's intelligence or any other ones, they cost double. But we won't worry about that right now. What we want now is, since we're a beggar, let's go ahead and go back to our main page. We'll pull up human and say, you know what, since we're a beggar, he likes to haggle. Alright? So we'll go ahead and go to haggle. I like to type in human as the note. We'll give him a 5 there as one of our 5. Okay. Animal care, you know, I don't know if he's going to have an animal or not. Maybe he has a dog or something, if that's part of your character that you want. But for right now, I'm just going to write human, and let's give him 3 points in there. Okay? And that will automatically add to this. Charm. Oh man, he's got to be able to charm the pants off people. So we will start him off with a 5 in charm. Alright, we'll roll stats here in a moment, but let's just get the human skills put in. Cool, you know what? Let's go ahead and give him 5 in cool. Alright, so we have charm 5, cool to 5, and a haggle of 5. So let's get 2 more out of 3. You know what, let's add our languages in here. Did they populate these yet? Nope, okay. We have language. We can say Bretonian. He is from the human. Right. He's got Wastelander. Okay, so we'll add Wastelander in here. Okay. Oh, sorry, I said Wasterlander. I don't know why I keep hitting that. That's okay. Easily changeable. We're not going to give him any leadership skills, but he still starts off with a little bit, being a human. Let's see here. Lower Reichland. Okay, we'll go to the lower section. We'll type in Reichland. Here is his human skill. Not worry about that. However, I think we should give him ranged or melee basic. Okay, so we'll go melee basic, and we'll go down to here. Now that it's populated, do human. Oops. Add a 3. A little bit of a bonus to start. Maybe he's got a scuffle or 2. And I'll go ahead and give him ranged bow. And maybe he had to go out and hunt for food every now and then, so maybe he used a bow. Maybe he stole it, who knows? I don't know. Yet, anyways. Right, so we have our basic skills here for being a human. Next, we'll work on talents. Under the talent section here, we get doomed. So if we go to the compendium, type in doomed, it'll bring it up. And you can just drag and drop it into the compendium, or on the character sheet from the compendium, and it will add doomed to give you a rank and everything there. If you need to access it during play, just click the voice box and it'll bring it up. So if anyone has any questions, you can just click it, shows it to everybody. There you go. Next, we have Savvy or Suave. Do we want to have a higher fellowshipping or higher intelligence? Let's go ahead and go with Suave, right? So we'll type in Suave, drag it over, drop it in, it'll calculate. However, this one here says you get a permanent +5 bonus to your starting fellowship characteristic. Under modifier, we'll say +5 to the FEL, hit enter, and it will automatically give you, under the modifier, +5. Pretty handy. So next we get 3 random talents. So let's go ahead and open that up. Let's shrink this down a little. Alright, so let's roll. First one is a secret. 65. Alright, so our beggar can read and write. That's actually really good for a beggar in the old world. You can read and write. So let's go ahead and type that in. Read, write, drag and drop. It'll give us all of our information. Alright, what's next? Rolling. 44. That is Mimic. Interesting. Mimic. Drag and drop. You have a good ear for accents and dialects and can reproduce them accurately. Right, you need to expose at least a day, get an initiative test. Once it's passed, you can pretend to be a local. Again, that's surprisingly good for a mimic, not a mimic, but a beggar. Look, our last talent is an 81, which is strong legs. See, interesting. So strong legs. Oops. Drag and drop. You have strong legs able to carry you great distances when you jump. Add your strong legs level to your success levels in any athletics test involving leaping. Hey, if you got to get away, you're running across the rooftops, you get a bonus to jumping. Or if you're trying to jump over a canal or something that you might get you away from the, the local guards, there you go. Okay, so we have our Doomed, our Suave, our 3 starting talents. So let's go ahead and get into, let's take a look here. Advancement characteristics. I wonder if that'll bring it up. Characteristics. Determining characteristics. Okay, perfect. As a human, you get 20 across the board. 2d10 plus 20, sorry. And then your wounds are calculated by off of that. Your fate and resilience are auto-populated for your initial numbers. However, you get 3 extra points, and we'll go over that here in just a minute. First off, let's roll our statistics. All right, if you want, you can do \R and then roll 2d10, right? And then you can use the plus 20, and it'll automatically calculate what you get. So 24. And then in Roll20, you just click in the box, tap up on the arrow pad, you can get another one. All right, so we have 37. Or you can just do a 2d10 and add 20, so it'll be 32. Whatever way is easiest for you. You can even make a macro that has this in it. But we'll just roll with it how we go. 35, 26, 31, 27, 31, 27 willpower, fellowshipping a 22. So not too good on that last one, but that's okay. Alright, so we have our basic stats, and we're just going to keep them as they are. So under the careers, we will get an additional 50 points for keeping our stats. Once we have that finished, we can hit Consolidate Rewards, and that'll just give us a date and what happened when it got consolidated and how much it was. So we have 120 XP. Now we get to go into our career page under Beggar, Pauper, Brass 0. Man, that's rough. We'll get our initial advances. So every starting career gets 40 advances plus 1 talent. So what I like to do is I like to just put 5 in everything, spend that 40. Okay. So 5 in athletics, charm, consume alcohol, cool, dodge, endurance, intuition, and stealth urban. Once we put the initial in on the main page, it'll actually go ahead and add those into your advances. Pretty handy, and I do believe, since stealth urban, it'll add that in down here at the bottom. Okay? Under stealth urban, it'll add all that there. So careers, talents, your first one you get, we need to make some money. So let's go ahead and let's look up Panhandle real quick and see what that gives us. Panhandle. Okay, let's take a quick look. You are a skilled beggar, able to get even the most jaded individual to contribute to your cause. You can perform a charm test every half hour when begging, not every hour. Hey, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and go to initial 1, and let's see if nope. All right, so let's just drag it over. There we go. We have Panhandle. Alright, so now we have all of our stats. We have our basic career. We have all of the things we need except for a few other things. If we go to career, right, we start with a poor quality blanket and a cup. Well, that's not good. So let's go over to combat, which has our trappings. And I wonder if we have a poor... Nope, let's just put in blanket. Right, we have a blanket. Drag and drop. We can say it's poor, oops, quality. Okay, we're not going to worry about anything else there. We also have a cup. Got to get that coin. I'm going to drag and drop. It'll bring up the information. If it has any encumbrance or anything, we would do that. Alright, so we have a blanket, we have our cup from our career. However, we are a burger, right? So I do believe if we type in a burger, it should bring up, if we show attribute list, this will show you the trappings of a burger, right? So we have a cloak. Let's go ahead and type in cloak. Let me shrink this up a little. Okay, we have a cloak, drag and drop. It'll add it in. Next we have clothing. Okay, drag and drop that. Adds it into our trappings, because everyone has to have clothes of some degree. We start with a dagger. Alright, if we drag and drop this, it'll automatically go into our weapons category. There we go. It'll bring in your weapon skill for basic. It will take the damage. If this is checked, it'll add your strength bonus. It has a very short range. 0 encumbrance. So we have a dagger. At least we have something to defend ourselves with. Next up, we have a hat. Again, just click, drag and drop. And it'll add hat. And if you need to add a description, you can. Any modifiers to it, you can do that as well. Of course, that will be with your GM, however that wants to go. Next up, we have a pouch. Right, drag and drop. This here is a pouch. You get +1 encumbrance, so you can carry a little bit more. It's a pack and container type. You can click on it if you need to change anything or if you're adding anything custom. Okay, we've got that all taken care of. Next up is a sling bag. Okay, sling bag. Drag and drop under trappings. Gives you +2 encumbrance. We're now up to a maximum of 9. However, it does weigh 1. But if we click worn, that should drop. Yes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and say the pouch is worn, the clothes are worn, the cloak is worn. Everything is on. Okay. I don't see how we could be -1 encumbrance. Maybe that's just a bug, but that's okay. And lunch. All right, let's go ahead and see if lunch is in the compendium. No. All right. Gives us a good opportunity. We now have lunch, and it will be I'll just put it under miscellaneous. Okay, it is food. Okay, so now that we have the burger, we have our trappings, we have our dagger, we're near complete. We don't have any starting funds, sadly, so we won't do anything here, but if we had to roll it, we can add in our brass pennies, our silver shillings, or gold coins. You can use these arrows to automatically switch them up. So if we have, say, 30 brass pennies, and we want to convert that into silver to make things easier, just click the up arrow, and it automatically calculates it. Okay? There we go. And if you wanted to go gold, you would click on silver, but we don't have enough silver yet to do anything. So let's zero these out because we don't have any starting wealth because we are a beggar. Alright, so wounds, we'll go ahead and just add in our current wounds. This is our maximum. We have our advantage. If we have any advantage, we should click up. If we use it, click down. Perception, endurance, initiative, dodge, intuition, and cool. So if we're in heavy combat, you just come here and these are your basic things that you roll. You click on dagger, brings up with the difficulty, right? You can select what it is, hit submit. If there's any bonuses, you would add that in. If there's any previous success levels, you would add those in. Hit submit, and then it will roll a dagger, give you your target number. An impressive failure, sadly. Its range, its damage is 5 plus the opposed success levels of your opponent, and where you hit them. Pretty cool. Alright, next up, let's go ahead and finish up our character with our age, height, hair, and eyes. So I just like to type in age, and it'll bring up the adding details. Alright, so we need to do 15 plus a d10 for our starting age. So we can just go ahead and roll a d10 plus 15. We are 22. 22. And begging. Okay, no worries there. Next up is our eye color. It is 2d10. Got a 5. That would be blue eyes. Oops. So we have blue eyes. Next up, we have hair color table. We'll roll 2d10 again. We got a 12. So we have dark brown hair. All right. And then next up, we have our height. For a human is 4'9" plus 2d10 inches. So 2d10, we got 7, right? So let's figure that out. Right, we have 4'9". All right, so we take 3 inches, make that 5 foot. So that would be, we are 5'4". So not the tallest, but not the shortest. 5'4". Okay, so we have Pauper, Human, Burger, Brass Zero. We have our stuff. We have our combat, our careers. Okay? We have our main skills and talents and everything that we have. If we had any conditions, we can add them here. Any psychologies, we can add them here. Corruption, if we have ambitions, we can add these here. For example, let's say our first ambition would be to... you know what? Let's get our ambition. Short term would be get 10 silver. Long term ambition would be something along the lines of own a home or something, right? If you have a party, you can put in your party ambitions, right? If you have a party name, ours is the Plot Busters, so we use that quite often because they always bust my plots. If you have any members, you can add them here. Pretty cool. Any trade skills, you can add them in. Another thing. Under the gear tab, you have non-career advances. So if you buy anything outside your career, this is where you would add it. If there's any custom modifiers that you need, or the GM gives you something, you can add them here. You can change your size, experience mods, your wounds mod. So if you have like hardy, stuff like that, you can adjust those here. If you have, I think it's strong back, you can get bonuses to your encumbrance, add those here. I like to change these up. Automatic success and failure. I prefer the 1% auto, the 1 to be the auto success, 96 to 100 as an auto failure. And the initiative, I love the 1d10 plus initiative bonus plus agility bonus. And I like to have the maximum advantage, your initiative bonus. So if we go back to main, we have initiative 26, so we have a 2. Right, so we have 2. And this, under combat, we'll make sure we can't go any higher than 2 advantages. Pretty neat. Alright, I do believe that is everything but a name. Just call him Jim. There we go, Jim the Bigger. Let me just double check anything here, make sure we got it all in. Okay, oh, we have 100 XP, so let's go ahead and spend that. Let's go ahead and give him resistance to disease. If we click on here in advances, do the 1, go back to the main page. Oh, whoops, I didn't do that right. Hang on a second. Enter resist disease. Is it not going to do it? Not going to do it. Okay. That's all right. We can come over here, hit resistance threat. Okay, drag and drop. And then we can just type in disease here. That way we know what it is. And you can resist the first disease you encounter for that day. If there's any success levels needed, then you can add your rank to it. Right now your maximum you can take is 3. But that way, if we're out and about in town trying to beg, we're sitting in something that we really don't want to be sitting in, but you know, it happens. We can, and the GM says, hey, I need you to roll a resistance disease. You can just say, aha, I haven't used it today. I automatically resist it. And then the GM would be like, cool. But hey, that's how it goes. But we have a complete character. Hopefully this helps anyone out there, and hopefully I didn't go too fast or too slow. But thanks for watching. And introducing Jim the Pauper. Maybe I'll keep this guy around, use him as an NPC or something, and maybe we'll go over that in another video. But this has been Chronicius, and hopefully you guys find this useful. Have a good one. And hopefully you get into a game and you get to play. Later.